IT controls design. Well, here are two ways you can design your controls. And this is what are our controls, right? Okay, an auto check every time someone deposits money to confirm that that's what should have been deposited, or we have an auto check that says, okay, the email was sent and it wasn't sent to the wrong sender, or someone clocked in and we make sure they get paid for it. So this is IT controls. There's a million IT controls. Those are just examples. Now, how do you design those controls? You can use business process management, which you essentially just start with your existing controls. For some reason, controls are a box here, right? And incremental change by tweaking the existing process and design. So, maybe you cut off a little bit here, maybe you extend it a little bit here. So, small incremental process changes. There's less risk here as it's just one step at a time. And if you mess up here, okay, maybe you, it's like I am, you take the eraser and you get rid of that part, right? You keep adding layers on. It's just like updating an app, right? Maybe Snapchat made an update to their app and they don't like it. Well, if they use business process management, they could just delete that update and go back to their old version. However, if you choose business process reengineering, this is saying, hey, this is our process, our IT controls design, scrapping that, and it's now a circle. And don't judge me for that not being a circle. This involves radical redesign of core business processes to achieve dramatic improvements in productivity, cycle times, and quality. When we use business process reengineering, companies start with a blank sheet of paper, in theory, it can be on the computer, and they rethink existing processes. And I know I do say processes and processes. I'm going to use that interchangeably. Don't judge me. To deliver more value to the customer. There's more risk here. So more risk as this completely redesigns the process and is less proven than the old system. Pros and cons to doing each totally depends. I'm not going to get into that. Do you want to just slowly build this out, right? Oh, now we're going this way. We're going this way. We're creating the path a little bit at a time. Or do you want to just completely, boom, we have a whole new process. There it is. Some companies want one, some want the other. Now you see what these are. Just be familiar with this incremental change for business process management. Reengineering, you're reengineering the entire thing, radical redesign. All right, here's a nice summary of what we talked about and a little bit more. Now, these are taken from multiple choice questions, right? I am making sure to just go over what you're going to be asked. I'm not wasting your time. I'm giving you exactly what the exam is going to want you to know about these. When we're doing business process reengineering, implementation is radical and a one-step change, right? It's just one radical step. The implementation time is long. I mean, if you're re-engineering your whole process, I would imagine it would be long. One major process at a time, kind of building on what we talked about. Business and process experts are involved. You got to get everyone in on this because you're changing the whole process. There is high risk because you are just completely changing everything. It's like they took the iPhone and, good example. Yeah, if they took the iPhone and made it a circle and, business process management, this is what they do currently, Apple, right? They take an iPhone and, they add a third camera on the back. Not too radical of a change. Outcome sometimes is drastic when we have a reengineering, and right, as rightly so, we're completely radically redesigning the whole thing. Cultural issues are a main concern. So whether that is company culture, I guess it could also be country, nationality culture. But right, so if you completely change your whole company, the internal culture of the company, people might not like what happened. Is basically what we're getting at here. Right? If you completely redesign how a company works, the employees might get disgruntled and say, well, yeah, we don't really like what is going on. And maybe they leave. Implementation stress and concern is high. I can imagine if you're completely redesigning how your company works. Maybe you go from a service-based billing the client model to a subscription-based model. That's a complete radical redesign. That is our reengineering. What about business process management? On the contrary, it's evolutionary and continuous, happens over a period of time. Implementation time is short and smooth takeover because we're slowly, okay, maybe next iPhone's a little bit bigger. Maybe that looks a lot bigger, but a little bit bigger. Maybe there's 4 cameras and wait till they add 5 cameras on the new iPhone. Process experts and all related people involved, right? Not that these are too different, but they're both important. Just generally you're going to get people involved who should be involved. The process is flexible. We can always go back to the old iPhone or remove one camera. Risk is low because we're just making one small change, and if people don't like it, then too bad. It's just small changes. Outcome is improved. So, I mean, yes, ideally the outcome will be improved in both of these situations, but here, generally, we want to assume that we're going to improve. Cultural issues are not much concern because you're only just making slight changes. Lastly, implementation stress and concern is low. There's not too crazy of a process, so we're good to go.
Hey there! Are you ready to not only pass your CPA exams, but truly understand and enjoy the material while studying? I know it seems impossible, right? Especially to enjoy the material? We'll do it together. Tap into the power of CPA.examprep.ai, where we've got personalized quizzes, multiple choice questions, memorization guides, flashcards, simulations, all tailored to your learning. Our adaptive study planning puts you on the fastest path to success and lifts you back up if you fall behind. Avoid wasting your precious time and money attempting an exam with a low chance of passing, because who wants that? We want to get you through this process as quick as possible. Our exam readiness prediction lets you walk in with confidence, knowing that you're prepared for success on exam day. Thankfully, there's no payment method needed to get started, so why don't you come join us? Visit cpa.examprep.ai and let's achieve your exam success together.